You're not paying your bills, dude. You're not paying your damn bills. Why have you chosen not to pay this one?
I went on a vacation.
See? Play the clip, Brandon. Play the clip where she.
I think it's a generational curse, like that. I'm
Curse.
Yeah.
So it's inflicted by the world, not by yourself. See, if you
Essentially.
obviously it's you. That's you. That's not what the world didn't say you must go on a vacation or we will murder you and your entire family. That's not what the world said. You did that. That was a choice you did.
Why are you not paying them?
Because why would I?
No, like if it starts back up, if none of them are forgiven,
I mean,
you'll just not pay them?
yeah,
And that hurts your credit. You don't care?
yeah,
It might go to collections and people could come after you and potentially
Yeah.
sue you. You do not care.
no.
Student loans that were a contract that you signed with your name, agreeing to pay back, do you not feel a moral responsibility?
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the credit card? Do you feel a moral responsibility to pay that back?
Not at all.
Do you feel moral responsibility to pay your rent?
Honestly, no, because my landlord's a dick.
Do you have any financial goals in the future and how are you going to meet them?
I mean, I would like to have a house. Hopefully I win the lottery one day. That's
But
the
no
plan.
moral obligation to pay for that house, right?
Bingo.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Hey, today we are in for another episode of Hey, I ain't paying a damn thing. Hey, man. If you guys are new here, I'm Jake Cartelli. If you're returning, welcome back. Listen, we got some more vids for you guys today. People are frustrated with, the job loss and the economy, the way things are going, and they feel broke and they don't have the money, and sometimes they just feel like, what's the point? They just want to give up. So today we're just taking a look at, people that have chosen a different path. They've chosen, hey, I'm not going to pay debt. I'm not going to pay bills. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go about my life stress-free. I ain't going to worry about it. So, it's a whole different way of looking at things, right or wrong. Let's take a look at it. Hey, before we get going, guys, do me a big solid. Share, like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. It really helps out the algorithm, helps get this channel motivated, and let's get going, all right? Let's see what the internet's got for us today, guys. All right.
To the hospital that keeps emailing me and sending me mail, I'm not paying my medical bills. And I'll tell you why. You guys told me my finger was not broken and that it would heal back to normal if I put it into a cast, and then gave me a $500 bill. You didn't do anything, and my finger is still broken to this day. You know the biggest reasons why I'm not paying you? You're rude. You're desperate. You're just desperate. You're clingy. You want it too much, Like, I don't know. Like, ask me how my day was, Like, make me feel comfortable. Make me feel like I'm important, Like, you're just rude. Like, I wouldn't ever talk to anybody and just be like, hey, man, you owe me money.
I'm 23 and I'm in $300,000 of debt, and I'm not stressed about it. If I passed away tomorrow, that debt disappears. And honestly, as long as I can afford my daily Starbucks, I'm good. I am not stressing.
Just don't pay your loans back. You don't owe anybody anything anyway. You see, the money that you've taken out as a loan is yours. You created it. If people understood exactly how money works, you'd understand that you don't owe anybody any money. Like, let me ask you this question. When you take out a loan from the bank, where does that money come from? You see, we're sold this idea that when you take a loan out from the bank is somehow giving you something that they already own, and therefore you have to give it them back. But the thing is, when you take out a loan, that money didn't exist until you signed that piece of paper and gave the order to the bank to create that money. You created the money. Your signature created the money. You are the backing for the loan. And when you understand that you don't owe the bank anything because it didn't exist until you created it, why do you have to pay it back? And so they then threaten you with this idea, well, if you don't pay it back, you might get a CCJ and it might go on your credit report, right? Okay. And you see, this is the problem. We're told that debt is a good thing to have, but not told what debt should be used for. Debt should be used to buy assets, because once you've got assets that create money themselves, you then don't care about your credit report, because banks will just throw money at you anyway. So don't pay your debts back. Nothing's going to happen. And then make money.
I think it's funny for me how so many people, so many students are worried about paying off their student loans, worried about debt and all this stuff. Well, for me, I really don't care. For me, it's just something that just is in the back of my mind that I have more important things to worry about than student loans. I remember this one conversation I had with my professor. He was saying that like he would spend 2 to 3 years in his fiance's parents' basement just to pay off some of his student loans, right? And to me, it's like, why? You know, like I understand you want to pay off your student loans as fast as you can and all that stuff, but for me, like, who says you wouldn't die in those 2 to 3 years, right? Like, who says you won't get that car accident, who a plane crash, or like anything bad happened to you due to those 2 to 3 years wasting your life trying to pay off something that really doesn't matter at the end. Like, I have a lot of student loan debt, but to me, I really don't care, because what matters most to me is living life through school, living life with my friends, my family, and all that stuff. That's what's more important to me, not staying in someone else's basement or staying in my mom's basement just so I can pay off student loans and just live in this shelter for 2 to 3 years out of my life. And to me, that's not what living is supposed to be. If that's what you want, then go ahead. But for me, I don't care. I don't care about student loans. I can pay that stuff for the rest of my life. I could not care. I care about living life as best as I can. You guys can call me crazy, but I don't know. That's just me. But what do you guys think?
This may be controversial, but I don't pay my medical bills and I don't pay my student loans back. I just don't. It's been years since I've made any kind of payments on either of those things, and I just don't subscribe to that stupid propaganda anymore. It's fake. Things that should be free to us. And once I realize that there's like workarounds for both of those things, I'm just like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm sorry. Pay my taxes, which suck anyway as it is, and I've got good credit, and pay my credit cards and stuff like that. But when it comes to like medical bills, no. I have a daughter with special needs. Like, she has high special needs. She needs a lot of medical stuff, has a surgery like once a year at least. Okay, I don't pay medical bills. No, that should be free. Education should be free and healthcare should be free. And I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of people being like, oh, that's so irresponsible of you, and it's because of people like you why we have to pay blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I hope everybody doesn't pay their freaking medical bills, because if you have insurance, that should cover it. I'm not paying extra. I don't care. I'm going to keep on doing it. And I encourage you all to do the same thing. Don't raise money and don't spend your hard-earned money on that BS.
All right, well, I don't necessarily agree with it should be free. Now, I've talked about this in another video. I can link it in the description. But recently I made a different video about this whole concept. Like I stated before, anything free is not worth it. Okay, you just don't value it. You don't put any valuation into it. If somebody gives you something or they do something for free, oh, that's nice, yeah, it's great, hey, I like it, cool, thanks a lot, but I could care less. There's no value there unless you actually have to work and earn it. So I don't really subscribe to the whole, things should be free. People's time is valuable, and that's what's valuable more than money or anything else, is your time, because that's what you're trading for money anyways, right? Your monetary gain, you're trading a little slice of your time. Okay, when you get born on this planet, you're born into this system. You didn't agree to any of this. You just, one day, boom, you wake up, hey, look, you're in the world. Okay, great. You get this much time. You don't know how much time you have on this planet. It could be short, long. You have no clue when your last breath is going to be taken. So that time is incredibly valuable. That's why we trade it for money, right? To buy things and goods and services and stuff, right? That's why we do that monetary system, right? Like, there's precious diamonds and golds and all this. It's a rarity, right? It's rare, which makes it valuable. Well, your time is rare because it's a scarce, you don't know how scarce or how rare your time really is. It's extremely precious. It's probably the most precious thing you could ever possess is your time, except for one more thing, which is even more precious than your time, and that's health, because health is true wealth, right? If you don't have health, it doesn't matter. You don't have time, you don't have anything. Anyways, point is, time is precious. Don't expect someone to give their precious time away to you for Nothing. Because you wouldn't expect it on your side, would you? Now just think about it. If you choose to spend time with somebody, that means a lot. Not only to that person, but it should mean a lot to you. Because you're giving away something extremely precious that you can't get back. You cannot get your time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's over. It's done. You're never getting it back. There is no time machine. This is not Marty McFly. We're not going back to the future, 1985 or whatever, or 1955, wherever they went. You're not. This is not a movie. This is real life. Your time is incredibly important. Don't let people take that away from you and just throw it away and act like, whatever, no big deal. Don't let people waste your time. Be a good steward of your time. You need to be a good steward of your time and your health. It's extremely important in life, right? And I don't want to get off on this whole other subject, but what I'm trying to say is you need to be very, very mindful of people's time, okay? Try not to waste yours, and I'm sure you don't want to waste, someone else's, or at least try not to, because it is incredibly precious, right? So when I say things like, I don't subscribe to things being free, that's what I really mean. Because people have to spend their time to do things for you, or to make life better for you, or to, get along in this world, to come together. Because you can't do it all on your own. It takes a whole group of people. It takes networking, it takes community, it takes everything, right? Like, you can't sit here and watch these videos because by yourself. Why? Did you create the camera? Did you build the technology? Did you have the internet? Did you go out there and physically, run the lines, the power, the electricity, all these? It takes a ton of people to build in these conveniences that we take for granted every day. That's just a fact. You can't do this by yourself. You can go homestead all you want, but really, it's not as glamorous as you think it would be. People like to make it out like, oh, I'm going to homestead. I'm going to live off the grid. I'm doing, yeah. All that stuff comes from places. How are you going to do it? Oh, well, I'll chop trees and burn wood and yeah. Who made the chainsaw? Who created the handsaw to chop the wood? Who created, invented, and who made all these things and the solar panels and all the wiring and all, I mean, the list can go on and on and on and on. It takes people. One single person's not going to do everything. It's just not. Even in the Amish community knows that, right? It takes a community. They come together as a collective, right? And they still, you'll see Amish carts and buggies down at Walmart and the local, hardware store and places like that. They still use things that are made by other people. That's outside the Amish community. You know what I'm saying? It takes other people. So you got to be, you know what I'm saying? Don't be so ignorant that, it should be free. No. Nothing should be free. You can't be for free. Right? How can it be? Because you're using other people's time and other people's resources. So I don't subscribe to that. Now you can, disagree with me. If you disagree with me, put it in the comments. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if you think I'm off track. Then put it in the comments and let me know. But I'm telling you, if you want to value something's important, and the time frame involved, come on now. People got to get, some kind of compensation. It can't just be for free. Now, there are things out there, don't get me wrong, there are things out there that are free, and people out of the kindness and generosity of their heart. I get that. But you understand the overall concept I'm trying to, get to here, right? That's all I'm saying. So, I don't think things should be always free. They should be a fair price. They should maybe a low price, a low cost, a win-win on a net positive on both sides, yes. But totally 100% free? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. All right. That's enough for that. All right. Next one.
Do you know why I don't worry about money? Because I don't have any. When you have no money, what's there to worry about? You can't worry about something that you don't have. Oh, so you're worrying about not having any? Good. You're never going to have any. Keep thinking, oh, I have no money, and making that the absolute worst thing in the world that could happen to you. Because, sweetheart, I had 200 grand in the bank and then I got cancer. Where's all my money now? It's like I lit it on fire. So when Canadians, like oh my God, how many Canadians are struggling? Don't pay your fucking bills. I'm not paying my bills. I have to decide whether to feed my children and to literally give them a Christmas or pay my ridiculous electricity bill. I'm feeding my kids and giving them Christmas.
I will never pay a medical bill in my life, bitch. I would rather die. I'm not paying that shit. I went in for a sprained ankle. All they did is look at it and say, the bitch is sprained, and tried to hit me with a Bansky. A Bansky? No, boy, y'all ain't never seeing that band. They tried to lower it down too and work with me. That shit, y'all ain't never seeing that money, boy. Ever.
So about a year ago, I kind of had a nervous breakdown and stopped participating in capitalism. And what I mean by that is like, I stopped paying my bills and stopped giving a shit about my credit score that I had been working years and years and years to fix, because as I paid more and more, they were like, penalty. And so I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I just stopped. And like, now I'm getting all these things in the mail where they're like, you owe us money. And I'm like, prove it. And my credit score is somehow going up. It's like, we see all the hard work you've done at ignoring this. So like, we're going to give you points, because that's, I think, how it really works. So anyway, I guess the point is, none of this is real. We're on a big floating rock in the middle of, you know, the universe. And it's all made up and the points don't matter. You're doing great.
I never once paid a dime of my student loans, and I am more than fine. This country tries to control us with fear and fear of debt. Treat it like it doesn't exist. I'm telling you right now, do not pay. What can they do? Okay, so after you graduate from your university, like 6 months to a year later, you start getting all the bills from Sally Mae and you got to get on a payment plan. Do not pay. What can they do? You're going to get letters in the mail, right? And then you're going to start getting phone calls. Block them. One more person to block. Just hang up. These bills that come in the mail, it's just paper. It's just paper. I promise you, do not pay. I'm going to tell you why. Because I know a lot of you are like, well, then I'm going to have bad credit. Credit for what? Credit for what? For that $1.8 million house you're about to buy? Let's get real. Let's get real, okay? The amount of little bit of hard times that your credit will give you is not worth the 15 to 20 hours a week extra you are going to have to work to pay off this student debt. It is not worth your life. Do not pay. So based on my experience, after about 8 to 10 years, the letters and the phone calls definitely start dwindling. I've moved around a bunch in my 20s. They kind of couldn't get in touch with me, or it took them a while before they could. And then after that, your credit starts over again. It starts over again. I still have my education. I still have everything I learned. I still can use that to my benefit. And it should have been free. My goal in my life, and I've always stuck to it, is I'm not paying for anything if I should be getting it for free. Healthcare, I cracked the code. We can talk about that another time, but I'm telling you, do not pay. It is not worth your sanity. It is not worth your time. They are just controlling you with fear. They try, everyone in my generation controlled with fear. Pay off your debt. It's going to ruin your life. Pay off your debt. It's going to ruin your life. No. Not paying my debt made my life so much better. And also keep in mind that there are other ways to raise your credit if that's so vitally important to you. There are other ways to take out a credit card, pay it on time. Like right now, I never paid Sally Mae once. My credit, 702, got me asking where my girl's at. I'm telling you, do not pay.
What if collectively we just stopped giving a shit about credit scores? Because I bounce between 600 and 700. I don't care anymore. I don't care. And you won't be able to get a loan. I won't get a loan. You think I'm buying a house in this economy? Oh, renting will be hard. I have never missed a rent payment before in my life. I have that on history. That, of course, doesn't go towards my credit score, though. My favorite thing is old people telling you how important it is. Old people who bought houses before credit scores were a thing. I don't care. You could give me a 200 at this point. I don't fucking care. I pay for everything in cash. I don't care what bootlicker in the comments tells me, how awful this take. Looking at it affects it. That's a scam. That right there, that's a scam. Credit scores have been out for what, like 50 years now? What if we just said, never mind?
I know I'm insane and I know I'm the internet's favorite crash out. What I'm gonna say right now is I'm not paying my debt anymore. What we're doing from this point forward is a debt strike 2025. If I have to do it alone and be insane, I will! The fact that we would continue paying our debt, we can't stop paying our rent because that's too crazy. It'll put a lot of people in harm. I'm sick of protesting. It does nothing. I don't want to go to war because look how skinny my arms are. We have to do something. I'm not paying my debt. You can join me on this or you cannot. And we need to protect Medicaid. The Department of Education needs to be restored. I want critical race theory in the classroom, period. We need to literally be delusional. I'm gonna be delusional right now. I will stand here right now, be delusional, make fun of me all you want. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. And if they don't meet our demands, then what we're gonna do is then we're gonna stop paying our rent. But for right now, stop paying your bills. Stop paying your debt. We're gonna start, and it's like, what the do I have to, oh, my credit score? For the house that I'll never buy? I already am not allowed to rent because I don't make enough money. I have to have a cosigner anyway, so what does my credit score even matter? What does it matter, bro? Literally, what?
Has any other millennial just decided that they're not paying off their debt? That there's just no point? They're not paying off the student loans. They're not addressing the medical bills. You're not addressing the credit card debt. You don't give a fuck about debt to income ratio. You're just deciding that you're not going to do. I don't want a $600 to $700, $800, $900 car note. I don't. I have a 2013 Kia. It's paid for. I don't want that car note. I have decided that I do not need to use my credit. If I can't buy it cash, I don't need to dip into this realm of basically saying you can't afford it, so use your credit until you're able to pay it off. I don't want to live an aesthetically pleasing lifestyle. If that's you, that's you. Hustle culture has taken up a majority of my life, and I don't want any part of it anymore. Chasing the next dollar, I do not want to do. Trying to pay off my debt, credit utilization tools, FICO score, I don't want any part. And I just decided that, like, even when my kids get old enough to move out, I'm like, I'm just going to fucking downsize, bitch. I might live out of a fucking car. Like, I don't even care at this point. They have their whole lives ahead of them. Mine is behind me. Mine is pretty much behind me. And I'm just at the point where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to participate anymore. I don't want to participate in whatever this fucking is. I'm only going to put into the economy what I benefit out of it, which are necessities. And if it's not a necessity, I do not want any parts of it. I don't need it. And I'm damn sure not going to use credit to get it, because credit's just another way of saying you can't afford it. You're basically living out of your means right now. And that's why you're using your credit until you're able to pay it off. Yep. You're using your credit because you don't have the cash right now.
Exactly.
And if you did have it, you wouldn't use credit. I don't want it. Fuck the debt. I'm over it.
She had some good points. I mean, I totally get where she's coming from. You know, she's to the point where, you know, live within your, basically what she's saying, you know, live within your means. If you can't afford it, then you don't need it. You know, borrowing money and credit, that's just saying, hey, I can't afford this. I don't have the money for this, so I got to borrow that and then pay back with interest. And it's like she's kind of like just checking out of the whole system, right? Now, she's not saying, hey, I'm not going to pay my bills. She's just saying, I'm not going to play your game, right? I totally feel that. Like, I'm in the same kind of mindset as she was, where I'm like, you know, I don't want to play your game anymore. I'm just kind of done with the whole, you know, credit score, FICO system, you know, the monetary fiat system that we're in, you know, this magical printing money and you know, creating debt out of thin air. And, you know, it's like, you know, the government tells you, hey, you gotta have a good credit score. You gotta be credit worthy, right? You gotta have credit worthiness, and make sure you have a good credit score, and make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's and do everything just right. Well, that's what the government tells you. Well, who the hell is that? Why don't you take your own, you know, advice there, Uncle Sam? Huh? How's your credit score, Uncle Sam? Not too good lately, is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Your debt to income ratio is what again? Where are we at? $38 trillion in debt. I just print money. It's easy to say, isn't it, Uncle Sam? It's easy to say when you have a printing press in the back room, huh? You just create stuff out of thin air, right? Go through a whole market system and just your whole Ponzi scheme, right? Isn't it funny how they preach at you about having good credit worthiness and good credit score and live within your means? Well, how about Uncle Sam do that? How about the government try that once? Instead of wasting all of our hard-earned pay and hard-earned money, right? And tax, your citizens to death on literally everything. So I feel the sentiment. I get what people are saying. I get it. It's not lost on me, guys. I get it. I understand. I'm within the same system you play within, right? And, the elites and the 1%, and the loopholes, the tax loopholes, and the special interests and the lobbyists and all the people, that play the game. I'm here, just like you guys. We're all in the same system, but I feel like she does. I don't want to play your game anymore. I never remember signing up. I don't want to play it. So, you get to a point in life that you just get to you just say, what's the point? What does it matter? So I totally get it. It's not lost on me. I get both sides of the argument. And there's lots of different ways to approach it. And that's the beauty about being individual and being, living in America and having that ability to, take a different road or a different path if you choose, right? And some people do, live out of debt free. Some people, live in vans and cars and, they save money where they can. They work 2-3 jobs. They live below their means. Some people don't. There's people that invest and live on debt and credit, right? Like they use it as an advantage. And they buy homes and properties and they take the equity from that home and they buy another home and then they just keep flipping homes and going from equity to equity to equity on all the different and taking everything out and renting and then flipping and selling. So a lot of people just, they survive and live on debt and assets and, I get it. There's a whole spectrum of ways that people can, game the system or play the system or operate within the system, right? People hustle all the time. But like I said, I'm kind of in the mindset like she is. Like I'm kind of tired of the hustle, kind of tired of the whole game in general. But anyways, I digress. I could go on for days on that kind of stuff. But anyways, that's all I got for you today, guys. So appreciate you hanging out, coming back. And you guys take care of yourself. All right, until next video. And if you can't wait, there'll be one popping up on the screen here pretty soon that Google thinks that you might enjoy. Otherwise, till next time, guys. Have a good one. See ya. All right, let's see what I'm doing here. What am I doing? I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Aliens. Come on. Aliens ain't real. Are they? No. I'll edit that out. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. Okay. Talking to yourself is like difficult. You understand? Like I'm talking to nobody here. Damn, that's cold. That's way too cold. I don't know. I gotta get this video out. Okay. How not to suck on YouTube. You know what? Get the... Holy crap. No, we're not doing a TED Talk. Oh, crap, look at that. Hey. I didn't know how long has this been in here, I wonder? It's probably been there for a year. I wonder if it's any good. Chocolate. Chocolate never goes bad, right? Right? My ADHD is kicking in. Holy crap. Yep. Oh, that's good. Shout out to Andy's Mints, right? Who's calling me? Man, these telemarketers, bro. I'm telling you what. God, I can't. I pay my bills. Shit, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. All right. Yeah, these things are frustrating, boy. I tell you what. Let's see. Let's get back to this. All right. Hell, I didn't even know we were playing a game. Nobody invited me over. Nobody said nothing to me about no game. I don't know. I just showed up one day and I was here.